Namaste to one and all. Welcome to my channel. Today we are continuing the power sharing lesson MCQs, that is part 2. This is for the tape 1. We are focusing on MCQs. But at the same time, I want to remind you children, in this present scenario, in this present situation, the pandemic situation, the board has instructed to have the MCQs where the source-based questions will be there, competency-based questions will be there, multiple choice questions will be there. So, I thought of giving details about the different paragraphs. At the same time, I want to remind you that you have to learn the question answers also, because if the situation changes, if the real classes start and the examinations also offline, then there will be short answer questions and long answer questions. That means objective type of question, the theory paper will be there. So that you should keep in mind. Just don't focus only on MCQs. I am telling you, MCQs, each line, each paragraph on which you are learning, it will be okay. Then you should be prepared to answer the short answer questions and long answer questions. So, anyway, now we can focus on the MCQs, part 2 of the power sharing lesson. Okay, last class we went through 18 answers, questions and answers about the multiple choice questions. Now we are moving towards question number 19. In the last video, in the part 1 video, we came across the pages 2 and 3. This much we discussed about, and now we are starting from this paragraph. This paragraph we are starting from. Yes, this paragraph is about what will happen in the Belgium and Sri Lanka. That way it is written. So that it tells that in Belgium, Dutch community could take advantage of the numeric majority, that is in Belgium, Dutch community, we know that in Belgium, Dutch community is predominating. Then in Sri Lanka, Dutch community could impose its will on the entire country, that is Sinhala. Yes, this is based on what we have came across in the last video. Then comes the majoritarianism in Sri Lanka, that is the next topic. What about Sri Lanka became independent in? That is, as usual, I told you, I am focusing the answers as point A. In the multiple answers, I am focusing the correct answer, that is mentioned in the number A. Then, Sri Lanka became independent in 1948. So, other options are given. Then, the leaders of the Sinhala community sought to secure dominance over government by virtue of their majority, of their power, political right, none of them. What is written in the textbook? That is majority. That is why I wrote majority. And in multiple choice questions, most often the answers may be similar. That way, children may be confused. And what is the textbook lines written? That way we have to choose. Then, Majoritarian Act was passed in 1956, 46, 48, 58, that is 1956. Then is the Majoritarian Act was passed in Sri Lanka. Then the governments followed Dutch policies that favored Sinhala applicants for university positions and government jobs. Yes. Here, this is the space I have provided, that is preferential policies. But at the same time, children, you focus on the entire point, because we don't know where the board will give us the space to fill. So the entire sentence you learn. What about the Sri Lankan government? Because of the majoritarian policy, they followed the preferential policies. What it has favored? It has favored Sinhala applicants for university positions and government jobs. So government jobs and university positions were reserved for Sinhala people only. That is the thing. And a new dash stipulated that the state shall protect and foster Buddhism. Yes, a new constitution stipulated that the state shall protect and foster Buddhism. All the measures of the 1956 Act gradually increase the feeling of alienation. So all the measures of the 1956 Act gradually increase the feeling of alienation among the dash, that is among the Sri Lankan Tamils, among the Sinhalas, among the Buddhists, none of the above. Then Sri Lankan Tamils felt that constitution and government policies denied their equal political rights, discriminated against them in getting jobs and other opportunities, and ignored their interests. Really, I want to give dash in this equal political rights, and when I tried to write the options, I came to understand that if I write social rights or economic rights, that will also be correct. So I didn't find any suitable multiple choices to give. So this, but at the same time, this sentence is very important. What is it? That is, Sri Lankan Tamils felt that constitution and government policies denied their equal political rights, discriminated against them in getting jobs and other opportunities, and ignored their interests. So along with the MCQs, we know the competency based questions are there. About that, we know that some statement will be given, some assertion will be given, and what is why it is occurring, so the reasons will be given. So about the assertions and the reasons, we can take this type of points where the multiple answers are not suitable. So that is why I wrote this here. The same way I wrote another points also the same way I wrote, because here I tried to write any other option, but when we look forward to Sri Lanka and government and its preferential policies and majoritarian policy, if we equal political rights is written in that particular context, but we know that some other options nearer to this point will also be correct. So that is why I didn't write any other alternatives here. Then so the same number I continued here, then because it is not I have not given this as a multiple choice question. Then majoritarianism means that the majority community should be able to rule a country in whichever way it wants by the wishes and needs of the minority, that is by disregarding or uplifting or granting or none of the above, that way, by disregarding the wishes and needs of the minority. Then 28th question, Sri Lankan Tamils launched parties and struggles for the recognition of Tamil as an official language. Then dash and equality of opportunities in securing education and jobs. So here for the regional autonomy. Yes, children, once again I am telling you the entire sentence you learn. That is, instead of a question answer, you learn the point. What is the point? Sri Lankan Tamils launched parties and struggles for the recognition of Tamil as an official language. Then what? For regional autonomy and equality of opportunities in securing education and jobs. So what are the options? Regional autonomy, regional balances, and yes, political supremacy, none of the above. Yes, next one, the by dash, several political organizations were formed demanding an independent Tamil. That is by 1980s, 1990s, 1970s, none of the above. Yes, so by 1980s, they were demanding, political organizations demanding an independent Tamil, independent state they were demanding. Then demanded independent Tamil in parts of Sri Lanka. Which parts of Sri Lanka? That is northeastern. That is in the northeastern parts, because in the northeastern parts the Sri Lankan Tamils are more people, more Tamilian people, Sri Lankan Tamils are focusing on this area. So the other options can also we can highlight here. Then a violent conflict between opposing groups dash that becomes so intense that it appears like a war is called civil war. Yes, a civil war is But war takes place inside, within a country, between countries. War on the border or none of the above. So within a country which becomes an intense conflict between some groups, that we call it as a civil war. Then the dash has caused a terrible setback to the social, cultural and economic life of the country. That is civil war. The civil war has caused a terrible setback. So the other options are war with a foreign country or natural calamity or none of the above. Then comes accommodation in Belgium. Yes. So next topic is accommodation in Belgium. That is, and before that, this paragraph here, after the civil war, what are the important consequences of the war that you know? There is several people, thousands of people were killed, many families are forced to leave the country as refugees, and many more lost their livelihood. That is the consequences of a war. Whatever is war, you know that it happens. And Sri Lanka, excellent record of economic development, education, health. But you know that because of the civil war, this led to the terrible setback of the, yes, that can be a short answer question. What is it? What led to a terrible setback to the social, cultural and economic life of the country? Yes, even though it is not an MCQ question, that way also can be asked. Then comes accommodation Belgium, that is in spite of the diversity regarding French speaking people and Dutch speaking people, we know that the Belgium made several innovative steps. A model has been constituted in order to accommodate the regional differences and accommodate the cultural diversities. The constitution is amended between 1970 and 1993. Belgium has amended their constitution 4 times. 3 times, 5 times, none of the above written, 4 times it is amended. And coming to the 4 points are important. As theory paper as question answer type or a long answer type, this accommodation in Belgium is important. Yes, let us continue in the third video. Thank you.